Hey guys, welcome back to Lindasresinroom. So what I thought we would do today is do two different trays. I have this little lotus flower, and I think it's an incense burner. I think the one you stick the little sticks in. So we're going to do it. And what I'm going to do is for the lid, I'm going to use this peach cascade. And for the flower, I'm going to use my pink glitter mix that I made. I think that'll be really pretty. Alrighty, and I will probably take some chrome powder and put right down in there. I want a pink color, so I want the little knob to be a little different. So we're going to use this rose red. Is that the one I want to use? The lid's not on there good. Let's see what other colors they've got in the other box. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to stick with the rose red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way. Get my mixer over here. And I'm going to take this here. And I'm going to try to get just down in the little nib here, because that's all I want to have the chrome powder in. I love these chrome powders. They're so pretty. I just want to make sure I get it in there good. It doesn't take just a second. It doesn't take very much of these to really paint this up. I'll have a little bit of cleanup to do, I'm sure, just because of it is textured down in there. And I want to get in between each one of those little textured lines. Thought that was a bee flying around. It's a stink bug. I have to capture that thing and throw it out. I don't know how they get in here. I really don't. Okay. I think I got that good. Okay. That will give it just a little color down in there. Alrighty. Love chrome powders. Okay, now this one right here, this is a massive jar, if you can't tell that already. I'm not going to do the little nib or anything a different color. I'm going to pour it with some resin, and I'm going to use this Miracle Coup resin pigment, the ocean blue. And I'm just going to put a few drops of pigment, and because this has like a diamondy texture around the whole jar, and see how that turns out. I think that'll be really pretty, unless I change my mind on the color. But we'll see. I think it'll be pretty. So with this part though, I am going to use some deep pour resin, just because I think it will, it could flash cure on me, and I don't want to take any chances. I don't know how much this mold is going to hold, but I'm going to mix up 12 ounces, and hopefully 12 ounces will fill the lid. All right, let's see. Part A. Okay. I have to figure out on these. Okay, part B. I am using the MTB JZJ deep pour. This can be poured 2 to 4 inches thick. It's a 2 to 1. So I got to figure out. I'm going to do 4 of part B and 8 of part A. So let's see if I can get this done. I'll have to separate this after I mix it to be able to put it in my vacuum chamber. Get eye level when you're pouring this stuff. Okay. 4 ounces. Perfect. Okay. Now, Part A. We're going to go up to 12. Let me wipe this off. I don't want to cure my lid to my jug. Okay. Let's go up to 12. We're going to see how this little mixer works when you fill the cup all the way up, because it is a 12-ounce cup. So we're going to see. All right, here we go. I love this little thing it came with. This thing's awesome. All right. Now, let's see. I'm going to shake this up. I don't know if you need to or not. It's a pigment, not an alcohol ink. All right. Ooh, I need to open it. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay. Here we go. All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's try 4 drops and see how it does. All right. This just goes on there. Oops, I want to clean that off. I don't want my lid getting resin on it. If it does, I can easily clean it off. It cleans up very well. Stick this in there. Get this snapped together if I can see. There we go. All right. Turn it around here. Try and get my little mixie on here. All right, guys. I am going to mix this up for, I need to move that out of my way, for 4 minutes. Just because it's so much. I do want to see what my color is going to look like first, in case I need to add some more. And this on the side is the medium speed, which is awesome. I think I need more color. Okay, let's look. Yeah, that hardly gave any. I want more color than that. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 10 drops. I hope I didn't make it too dark now. Just mix. I just want to make sure I get my color mixed up so I can see where it's at. Really do like this little mixer. This thing's awesome. It'll save from the blisters on my hands from the stir sticks. Okay. Yeah, that's the color I want it. Just a little color. I don't want a lot of color. Get my lid back on here. Okay. All right, guys. Gonna put you on a brief pause. What time I mix this up? See you back after I get it out of the vacuum chamber. Hey guys, so I got this finished mixing, and I used my spatula to scrape off the sides and the bottom and mix it for just a second that way to make sure everything was mixed up. But I wanted to put some of this crushed crystal in here. I don't need a lot, just a little bit, because I thought that would look really pretty in this mold. And there is a 15% off discount code that I will flash up on the screen, as well as it will be in the description box for you guys for 15% off of this mixer, and that is good for the UK and the US. And then there is a discount code for all of Resiners products for 15% off down in the affiliate discount codes section there. There's multiple ones for different companies there. I think there's 20% off of Into Resin. There's a link that will give you 10% off of any Let's Resin products from their website. The Resin Molds box, which used to be Resin Molds Express, there is a 10% off, I think, for them. They sell molds, plus they do the monthly mystery boxes, which is really, really awesome. Let's see. I think there's a discount code for craft resin, which is an awesome resin. And then there is a discount code also if I'm... Whew! Oh, the stink bug landed on me. 20% off of any Bone Crafter stuff off their website. So there's quite a few different discount codes there for you guys. And you can use them as many times as you want, over and over. They never expire. Anybody that wants to use them can use them. Alrighty, I got my sparkle in there. I think I probably added a little too much. Let's get this separated into 2 cups. This is a deep pour resin, so it is going to probably have to be watched, because it seems like my deep pours need to be watched a little longer to remove bubbles. Even though it's a thinner resin, I don't understand why, but yeah, it is what it is. Accept it and move on. All right, let's see if we can get all this out of here, because I'm going to clean this cup. All right. Alrighty, guys. We're going to get this in the vacuum chamber, and then we will be back to pour. Alright, guys. So I got these out of the debubbler, and I've been letting them kind of just sit on their own and degas, because I left them in there for almost 15 minutes. I just have a hard time getting deep pour to degas. So let's see. 1, 2. This is only 4 ounces. So let's do 3. Because if I did 10 for 12, this is 4. Let's do 3 should be good. And then I'm going to get this in the debubbler. I'm hand mixed up 14 ounces. And this is not deep pour. Just because of I needed to mix up more than 12 ounces. So I did hand mix it. And then I put 4 ounces in this cup. And I'm just going to mix up that color there. Let's kind of compare. Okay. I think it's okay, similar. So let's see if we can get this cleaned off. So it's going to need to go in the vacuum chamber. Try to get all of that color off. Getting it all across the top of that, aren't I? And all over me, probably. Okay. Now I'm going to lay that on my silicone mat over there, my orange one. All right. I'm hoping this only takes 4 ounces. I've got 10 ounces here that we're going to put my glitter in. Okay. And hopefully this does okay. That's so pretty. I think that's plenty. All right, let's put in some glue so we can try to keep this from all sinking to the bottom. Get over here and get my glue. All right, 10 ounces, 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's just the Elmer's clear glue. And that will keep your glitter from sinking. You want it to kind of get the consistency like slime. And it is. And we'll get all this in the vacuum chamber. Scrape this off. Alright guys, I'm going to get this in the vacuum chamber. I think we can go ahead and pour this when we get back. So, see you in just a moment. Okay guys, sorry about the noise. That's the vacuum chamber. We're going to go ahead and pour this deep pour. I'm going to spritz a little alcohol in there just in case. Deep pour resin, you usually have about an hour to work with it. That's why I was in no rush. But I'm dripping. Okay. I may have poured way too much. So I mixed up 10 ounces just for the lid. Yeah. So that's only about 5 ounces there. Yeah. Spatula here. But that's okay. We will use it. Okay. Alright. Just going to get all this out of here. Now deep pour it degasses very well on its own. And you have about an hour work time with most deep pours because they take a lot longer to cure. Okay. There we go. Now let's finish this. I'm going to have to go under the lip of this to try to make sure I don't get any bubbles around through there before I fill it completely. So, give me a little dotting tool here, and I'm just going to go around the lip, and hopefully there's no bubbles in there. I don't see any. I didn't see any come out, so fingers crossed. So I'd say 6 ounces for the lid. I'm going to get eye level so I can, there we go. Now, I'm just going to spritz a little alcohol down in here. Because like I said, this is a crystally like mold. So this is about 4 ounces, which is what I mixed up. That's in the vacuum chamber. And I think if I scrape this enough, we might have enough to fill it up. All right. I don't think we're going to. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to let that sit and see if any more comes out. I don't see any bubbles around it, but we're good. All right. Let's get this out of the vacuum pot. Just depressurizing. There we go. Okay. Now, we've got our, we want to do the glitter in this one, so I'm definitely spritzing some alcohol because there's some little areas in there. And I want to make sure they all get covered. And this is glitter. So, I've got 10 ounces. I don't think it's going to take near all this. But, we'll see. Just letting it pour slowly. It did degas very well. I had to watch it and depressurize a few times. Isn't that glitter pretty? Such a pretty pink color. Okay, now we're coming upon where it's going to start going into these little areas that I definitely want the resin to go into. So I don't want to do it too quick, because I want it to flow in there very smoothly. This is a very thin mold. See it flowing in there? Oh, I can see through the mold, so that's awesome. We'll be able to see if it misses anything. It's holding a lot more than I really didn't think it would hold that much. We do have the glitter in it as well, so we have to keep that in mind. So that takes up some space. Okay. Let that level out. I don't want to over pour. There we go. So let's see how much the bottom held, because we're going to go ahead and just fill the top up as well. So I've got about 3.5 ounces left out of 10. I am going to spritz around this and try not to get my chrome. I'm bringing this over here, guys, to where I can reach it. I want to kind of get this to fill up all those little bubble areas. There's a lot of little tiny areas on this. And this is got some chunky glitter. So I don't want anything to end up not getting resin in it. And we'll have to go around the lip of this as well. Oh, you can see around the lip of it. And I see a bubble. Get another little drop down in there. I see a bubble right here. Let's just take, I don't want that one, I like a thinner one, and see if we can get those bubbles to come out. I can't tell if there's any anywhere else. With the glitter, it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to tell if there's a bubble there or not. I feel like there's one there. We're just going to have to go with it, guys, and finish filling him up. Where's my glitter? All right. So I would say 7 ounces for the bottom half. If we give count for the glitter, and then the top, okay, we're good. So we have 2 ounces left. So 8 ounces, and I would do 11 for the big guy. Alrighty, guys. That is it. I don't know what to do with this. I'll figure something out. wonder. I have a couple little bear molds. Give me just a second. Where are they at? I just got them in. Wonder if this will hold. Okay. And these are just two little bears. He may not be filled with this. We'll see. We'll need to squish his head. Okay. He's got little ears, so I want to make sure there's no bubbles in those ears. I want to make sure there's no bubbles around this head. Okay. I'm going to get my other spatula. Yeah. Okay, and let's see if we can get everything out of here. So he holds about 2.5, I would say. So I'm not going to have quite enough to fill him up. So I'll just wait until I make more resin and get some, fill a little extra and do the same glitter and just fill him up later. Okay, just continuing to scrape, try to get everything I can out of here. All right, this is going to be the last little bit. I will not be able to get any more out of there. So let's turn this upside down. I've got cups down here. Let that drain on that. All right, so I'll finish filling him up later. Guys, don't ever do this, but let's see if we can, if there's any more of this deep pour we can get out of here. This needs just a little tiny bit more, and I really don't want to mix up just a little tiny bit of deep pour to finish filling him, so I'm going to use the regular epoxy. Don't ever do this. I don't know if it'll mess up. I don't know if it will cure. We will see. All right, guys. Now, I'm going to put a lot more of this color in here and probably introduce a bunch of bubbles and see if we can finish filling this other bear up with this, maybe. It's starting to heat up and get thick. So we're going to kind of leave it a little streaky. Hopefully it'll mix up well. Okay, let's see if I can squeeze and make sure he doesn't have any bubbles in his ears, around his snout, and around his head. Okay. Now let's finish filling him up. And I'll probably just go ahead and mix up a little more with some pink glitter to finish filling him up, because I do want to demold him on this. Alrighty, guys. Where's my turtles? I've still got a little left. I don't think I've ever made this turtle clear. So let's try. Just make him completely clear. Okay. And he's going to have a twin. Alright. Alrighty, guys, that's it. We'll let all this cure up. We'll come back for a demold. See you then. Alright, guys, I think this is cured up enough that I can demold. It's still a little soft around the edges. Everything else is cured up. I've already demolded one of the turtles because I needed the mold to, I've got some trimming to do. It's got a little overflow. I needed the mold to make another one. So I've already demolded that one. And then here's the twin, and it's got some overage. Pop that sucker loose. Yeah, I really went over, didn't I? Alright, I'm going to have to clean those up before I can make them. Let's see about our bears. This is the pink glitter one. I did mix up some more and mix up some glitter in it to get the rest filled up. I did that off camera. I couldn't let him just sit there, but some of the glitter did just kind of sink a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let me get that out of the way so it doesn't get stuck on anything. Oh, it's pretty. I can paint the eyes and the little nose and the mouth. I've got to fall down the bottom, and then we can dress it up a little bit. I don't see any bubbles, so that's great. I think the bottom could have used just a little more glitter. What do you guys think? Didn't use enough, did I? Well. Let's see about the blue one. Alright. Hopefully this one doesn't have bubbles. I don't see any thus far. So let's see. There's a piece of resin sticking off the back of that mold. Ooh, that's really pretty. We can definitely paint his face. And he has not a single bubble. That is awesome. I mean, nowhere. Woohoo! We'll dress them two up. Where'd that come from? Alright, let's do this one. I think it's going to be easier than that one where it's still a little soft. Oops, knocked the bear over. And here's the lid. That's where I painted the little nib on it. This is where you put your incense in. That's pretty. I love that glitter. Now this is a really thin mold. Got it from Amazon. And I will put the link for you guys. Okay. Turn this back the right way. Oh, I don't see any bubbles. That is great. None. Oh, that's awesome. Nowhere. We'll have to fall down the bottom, of course. You can see how my glitter sank just a little bit. But that's okay. And then, oh, it fits perfect. That is such a pretty incense burner. You can use it for a little tray. Hide your jewelry or whatever in there. That is really pretty. I'm not doing anything to that. I'm leaving it as is. All right, let's do the lid. Okay, check for bubbles. So far, we're good. I think we're good. Heck yeah. I'll have to trim that down a little bit. This has a big knob on it. See if I can get that out of there. Just gotta work it loose, and I bent it. See if I can bend it back. There we go. This is deep pour, so you can tell it's not quite completely cured. Still a little soft. Got my little sparkle in there. Isn't that pretty? This is called a snowflake jar. I had to look it up. Definitely have trimmed that. That's very sharp. Okay. Now the bottom, it's not as soft as the top, doesn't feel like. You can see how soft the jar is, that it's bending. Hopefully I can get it to bend back in shape and not get it too disformed. Here we go. What is that? It's floating. I don't want that to stick. Okay, I got it. There we go. Getting this back the right way. Get that mold out of the way. I don't think it... Oh, what is that? Or maybe where I put the alcohol down in there? I bet. And this should just fit perfect. It's like an egg. That's really pretty. Isn't that pretty? Got the top a little darker than the bottom, but it'll be okay. Alright, I'm going to let that completely cure. We'll get these trimmed up, and I will put them together off camera. Well, no, I gotta fix my bears up. So I can do a time lapse as I decide what I want to do with those little fellas. So, see you back after the time lapse.
Lindasresinroom where chaos brews. Epoxy rivers run wild through hues. Glitter splash like stars in deep space. Mica powders leaving their trace. Swirling, spinning, never tame. Color shouting out her name. As it blooms from her hands tonight. One of a kind under shifting light. Never know what's hiding inside. The reveal fills her heart with pride.
Alright guys, so I've got everything done. I took my little shaker turtles. I put some sand and some little mini shells in there. And I will link that bag of shells because there's all different shapes and sizes. They're all small and perfect for this. And that's what I did with the shaker turtles. And then I went ahead and made a lid for my flower and painted it yellow. And I trimmed everything up. Also made the leaf. So this sits on there like that. And I think that is cute. Now, for my bears, I gave her some little eyelashes, painted her eyes, painted her nose and her mouth, and her little paws of her feet. I glued a little pink wand star on there, and I gave her some angel wings. Now these angel wings, they have a cloth backing, so I glued them together before I put them on there and let them sit overnight and glue, and then I just glued them so the wings are still wet. Now our little fella, painted his eyes, his nose, his mouth, painted his little paws, and I gave him a little blue wand. And then he got the holographic wings. And that's all I done to him. And then we have our little jars. So I'll post some photos at the end, guys, and I will see you all back for the next video. So bye for now.
In